the splitting the bill conversation. What do we do?
You communicate. That's it. If you get an answer that you don't like, you don't go on the date. That's it.
A friend of mine was on her dating journey.
Okay.
And she went out with a man twice. They had lovely dates. He paid for everything, wined and dined. Okay. 2 dates. On the 3rd date, they spent a day together, ordered a bunch of things, had some drinks, had a good time. Really long day. So pretty significant bill. Let's call it a couple $100.
Okay.
Because she had to put her card down for this particular place. So when they went to pay, he was like, oh, like, your card is down. And now she didn't speak up and ended up paying for the bill.
Personally, just my opinion, I wouldn't tell the person I'm dating, hey, or on a date with, hey, your card is down, and expect them to pay. Also, on the flip side, if someone told me that conversation of who's going to pay probably would have been said already. And part of that, or a lot of that, is because of who I am and how I live my life. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in my bank account. The person I'm dating or on a date with on the 3rd date is probably not going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account. So already the separation in regards to the lifestyles of these 2 women talking and their friends, and you watching, and me as well thinking about this and sharing my opinion, we're not going to go through this. Let's continue.
They had plans for another date. He texted her the next day and was like, hey, like, I had a great time with you, but, I don't really see a long-term future with you. And so I don't really want to waste like either of our times. Like, I think you're great, but, I don't want to like keep our date for next week that we had planned, which I think is like very respectable. Like most people just ghost.
I agree. That was respectful. Make sure to talk to the person. They're people too. They have feelings. Yeah, it probably sucks. You're going to have to send them that text message. Don't ghost them. I don't think you should. Also, with some people, they're okay with just being friends. You'll have to ask. You'll have to expect a no, a yes, a screw you, whatever it might be. But if it's a yes, it's pretty cool. You could have a friend if you have the time for it. Personally, I just think we could all use more friends.
So whatever. So she's talking to me about it. She's like, but he did like stick me with the bill. I was like, what are you talking about, stuck you with the bill? How did you leave paying? Like, she's like, oh, I just froze. So I was like, just text him and say like, oh, okay, well, cool. Like, thank you for saying that, whatever. Like, had a great time too. It's 3 dates. It's not the end of the world. You don't even know this person. But like, here's your split for Saturday. There's no possible way you like, he thinks that she's just paying for his presence.
Yeah, at minimum, just a split. Just like can you send me your split?
If Taylor and I go to dinner, we split the bill. We got credit cards.
We split it.
Split the bill. That's it. And then we go about our day. Because Taylor ate and I ate, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not complicated.
She mentions here that her friend ended up paying the bill. She says that her friend froze. That's a communication issue. I do agree that it's strange that the guy mentioned, hey, your card's there already. Might as well pay for it. And the woman should have said, wait, hold up. Let's split it if you'd like. The thing is, the gentleman had paid for the other 2 dinners, which I know is always expected. I'm a man. I am aware. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's a bit different for me. I've never been on a date where a woman had an issue with us splitting it. I've never really had an issue with who's going to pay. You just have that conversation. Hey, I'd love to take you out on a date. Hey, I'm going to take you here. Okay, cool. I would love to split it with you. No, I'll take care of it. For real? Are you good? Yeah. Or, hey, you want to go on a date? Split it? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Hey, you want to go on a date? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. You're going to pay for it. Okay. Okay, cool. Whatever it might be. I've never had that issue. And there's a lot of people out there that never really had that issue. And there's a lot of people that probably haven't been on a date in a very long time and are still going to probably do the whole like, yeah, man, like the whole splitting bill thing is so troubling. It makes dating so difficult. No, It's not difficult. Then Joy also says, there's no possible way that he thinks she's paying for his presence. He already did that twice. Then Joy tells her friend, send him half of the bill. You don't send the person half of the bill in response to them saying, I'd like to cancel the 4th date. I don't see a quote unquote future with you. You split the bill then and there. You don't send it later on. Joy then says, hey, it's not complicated. I split my bills with my friends all the time. And it's true. It isn't complicated. But dating someone, going on a date with someone versus hanging out with a friend, obviously different scenarios.
He got upset, did not send her the split, and in fact went and sent her the receipts for the last 2 dates.
Okay, so there is just a display of pettiness from the two of them, I guess. First world problems, right? Oh, you don't want the 4th date? Well, here's the split. And then the guy's like, well, you're going to pay for the 3rd one because look what I spent money on. It's just really pathetic. And then they both start laughing hysterically. Well, Joy's laughing, losing her breath, and Rooks is kind of just with her mouth open. I think that's just for content. They have maybe another 5 minutes with this segment, so they just got to extend it.
Basically saying, like, I got the last 2 dates, so this one's on you.
This one's on you. 3 dates. Now listen.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna let you.
No.
Go
What are your
ahead.
thoughts? What are your thoughts?
So it's tough because I just already think this, like, who pays for what with the dates is so just like, I just like don't even always even have a point of view on it because it just feels so ridiculous. And my honest answer is I see both sides of these things. Like, I see him saying, I paid for like 2 of the dates. Maybe it was your turn to pay for the date. I believe in splitting things. I'm not saying that a woman doesn't need to be wined and dined. Like, if a man is courting you, there's a part of taking you on dates and making you feel good and important and beautiful, making you feel taken care of. When I'm going on these dates, like, I am expecting that aspect of it. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are no longer going to be dating a person and you already paid for 2 dates, the idea of feeling as though you need to, show your love in that way kind of diminishes once you're no longer going to be dating that person.
Right, but he didn't pay for his half.
I'm just saying he would say, well, she didn't pay for her half.
Right, but the halves that she didn't pay for were with the intention of the courting and the taken care of part.
Right, but I'm saying now, but you're saying, but why is she paying for his?
Correct.
Yes, and that I agree with. That I agree
even
with.
This date, he asked for.
In this case, Rooks doesn't care. She even says, like, I don't mind splitting it. But again, you got to create some content. You're on a show. And she mentions you do pay for certain things because you're trying to show your love. And you're showing your love financially. And that gets into a gray area. And I know there's a lot of conversations about that. But yeah, like us men, to show that we like someone, we normally are expected to pay for something. But I am telling you right now, and I'll say a little bit more at the end of this video, way more women don't give a shit. And what we do, us men, we watch a lot of incel corn. And we watch a lot of podcasts with OnlyFans models. And we watch a lot of music videos online. And we make these stereotypical images of what women are. And if you don't hang out with women, if you don't make friends with women, if you don't go on dates with women, if you don't talk to women outside of your mother, your sister, your cousins, then you really don't know what women have to offer. And as I mentioned earlier, Rooks is talking about, hey, this is how you show your love when you have a certain intent. They're talking about dating. They're talking about what you do later, things like that. And Joy mentions, hey, the courting and all this stuff. That's why he paid the first 2 days. So yeah, she is mentioning he, of course, has to pay the first 2 dates. His intention was to potentially sleep with her, right? I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. And yeah, again, like I said, that's a gray area. You want to sleep with me? All right, buy me food. It's like, what? But I understand, and I'm not oblivious to something like that. But I am saying that you can find women that don't care about that. And finally, with that little segment there, Joy mentions that the third date was offered by the gentleman. So if he asked her out on the third date, I had already mentioned saying, hey, you have your card on there already. You should use it to pay. It sounds even worse in this case. Again, first world problem, but you asked her out on a date. You figured, I'm not feeling it. I'll tell her to use her card. Yeah, that's a little strange. You asked her out on a date. You should have probably paid for it, unless you communicated it.
Like, he asked her out. So
Yeah.
even this date was your plan.
So when he sent the receipts and she was like, I'm just asking you to pay for your half, which is very fair and like something I would also do. Like, you need to at least pay for your side. What did he say?
So after, I don't know, after they sent the receipts, everyone's been blocked and we've all moved on with our lives. But
there you go. They've moved on with their lives. And now you've got content creators creating content. I watched the entire video because I saw Abba and Preach, I believe it's pronounced, and Nightcap talk about this. And they only showed segments about it. And the longer I watched this, the more I realized this is a nothing burger. This is literally nothing. But if you decide to make the type of content that some people like to watch, when you go, well, women are always trying to take from men, and men need to do this and women need to do that. As I mentioned earlier, incel corn can potentially lead us to false expectations. Women want a 6-foot man. They don't know what 6 feet looks like. They don't know the average size of guys. They don't know the average salary. And then guys want the women in the OnlyFans accounts that they pay for, but they criticize OnlyFans models. You know, those things, when you live online and you just consume so much stuff online, that can happen to you. If you're a woman, if you're a man, it could happen to you.
I guess my shock is, one, like, the men are actually out here doing this. And I owe an apology to the girlies because I have been dismissing your experience, and that's wrong of me. And as much as I like being right, I can admit when I'm wrong. I did not think the men were actually in real life out here doing this.
I thought this was a myth.
I thought it was a myth. I thought
This was like Bigfoot or like Loch Ness Monster.
Where's the evidence? And we would have seen this if this was happening. And I have to apologize to the girls out there. I did not know that the men were out here moving like this.
The point I want to make to end this video is that we don't live the lives that these women live, the two hosts of this podcast. We don't text our millionaire friends about the hundreds of dollars spent on a date. To the guys out there, you don't need to worry about this. If you want to take someone on a date and you want to pay for it all, great. Don't show her the receipt later on. If you want to split the bill, ask before the date. Pick a restaurant, have a nice time, communicate. The sooner you ask to split the bill, the better. If she wants you to pay for everything every time and you don't want to do that, then don't waste your time and don't waste her time. To the ladies out there who do want a man to pay for most things, you can have that so long as you find that man. Don't get angry at the guy you're currently dating and he doesn't want to do that. You're dating that guy. Expect less from others and more from yourself. And also, for that guy to have told her, I don't want to go on the fourth date, for her to have done what he didn't like when she sent him the split bill, and what he did for her to not like, it was great that they decided not to go on the fourth date. If you're still here, thanks. For my 22 subscribers, if you'd like to watch more of me, please subscribe to my new channel. My goal is to make a living as a YouTuber. Peace.